God, the game feels so loud now. I should probably put word on this too. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to have OBS visible, so you guys are just gonna have to tell me if the stream fucks up or something. Okay, I'll start like that. Mr. Popular. Oh, is Liquid in here? I don't really have a good gauge of how hot it is. I think it's something like 38. Okay. Ooh, not being able to check the OBS is really awkward actually, because this is a DS game. The capture can fall out quite easily. Oh well. Can't do anything about that. What's up, Kisa? Yeah, I mean, the thing about Gen 4 is you can't really do no reset runs. Like, if I lose the RNG minute, I can't continue, so... Fuck, what's the NPC supposed to do? I don't want to check the ID, it's way too slow. I think it's downright... something something. They move a lot. The thing about this route as well is that it's actually... even outside of the RNG minute, like in the battles, it's very risky. Yeah, that's not it. 4, 7, oh, yeah, that's one early. Okay. Yeah, Ember PP is a huge concern in the early game with this route. But then also, because you don't have Fire Blast, like, Whitney is worse. And so is Rival 3. Miltank does not have thick fat, no. I mean, Fire Blast wouldn't be good against it if it had thick fat as well. I wrote in my FAQ what the NPC is supposed to do, but I don't actually remember what it is. Technically I haven't finished the routing. There are some thoughts that the Voltorb flip manip can be improved, because I did it manually. And MK has figured out... He says he's figured out everything except the one aspect that's actually needed to improve the manip, which is to figure out what causes advancements to level 8. There's currently absolutely no idea what does it. And if that can be done, I can potentially save a full board. If I can skip from level 5 to level 8, which is what is the belief to be possible. My current route goes from 6 to 8. And if you skip a whole board, it actually saves a pretty considerable amount. I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Now, obviously, this is an entirely new, like, RNG manip pattern, so I'm still learning it, so it's very likely that I'll mess it up a few times before I get a run deep, but you just gotta actually do runs to get that in. I do use a Game Boy player, when I play Gen 1 to 3, yeah. It should not be that expensive for you. But I mean, you can just use DS Capture as well for just Gen 3 games. But you should get to see one of the more creative improvements, like, straight away. Like, obviously, if you've been like following what I've been talking about on Twitter and shit, you'll know the very creative shit is Voltov later on. But there's some other shit as well. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Get ready for the strats. Beautiful. Nailed it. Yes, that... well, I mean, it mostly confirms that you're doing things correctly, yeah. Thanks, Riku. Man, so a couple of days ago, I'm still going through this, I'll probably be mentioning things being, like, really loud to me quite a bit, because I'm still adjusting. But so a couple of days ago, I finally... this has been something that I've been talking about that I should do for years. I had my ears cleaned, because I keep talking about how my hearing is really shit. And, you know, sometimes has quite a noticeable, like, throbbing and pain and whatever. So I was like, I'll finally get it done. Took me like 5 appointments to actually get it done, but anyway. It finally happened, and yeah, everything feels like 80% louder to me than it used to. Like, I can hear the buttons that I'm pressing on the DS, and that's fucking ridiculous to me. Oh no, the capture's gone. Well, thank you for telling me. Hopefully it's back. down, up. That's good. Okay, what's this one? Left, up, 2, 4, walk on up. That shouldn't matter. Yeah, at Voltorb Flip I get Abra, Dratini, and Thunderbolt. No, you do not get the Dratini from Dragon's Den. A, that's after you need to use Whirlpool, so it wouldn't fulfill that requirement. And B, it's slower. And C, you actually use the Dratini as well, that you get from Voltorb Flip. Okay, this one's down to 4, down, left, and then max, butt ledge. Okay. Oh, yeah. Figuring out the call from Professor Elm for Pokerus was a more recent discovery. I'll explain that in a bit. Like, the reason it happens is because you have Pokerus, but the exact specifications of what triggered the call are a more recent discovery. Like, 2 days ago? Or was it yesterday? I think it was 2 days ago. But so basically, we figured it was somewhat time-based, but it wasn't exactly time-based, so we couldn't figure out what was the exact cause of it. But basically what happens is, every time... It's pretty much every second you're in the overworld... Oh no, that's not a good way to explain it. Okay, so... Basically, there's a value that when a minute passes, it advances by 1. And when it reaches 10, Elm calls you. But that doesn't mean it happens every 10 minutes. Because the game, every time one of the minutes passes, it like resets the seconds count to 0. But if a minute passes during a battle, for example, it doesn't actually update the counter until you're back in the overworld. Also during like an event like a cutscene or something like that. So if you enter a battle and the seconds are at like 40 seconds, and you take 2 minutes in the battle, it advances by 2, but the seconds go back to 0. So it won't advance to 3 until another 60 seconds have passed instead of 20 seconds. And so because of that, when the battles are done, it turns out that it ends up being at a really consistent point when Elm calls you. He will call me after Rival 2, which is the worst place for him to call, but at least it's consistent. And he'll call after Whitney as well, though I'm not tracking RNG Manipit Whitney. If I'm slow enough throughout the run that he calls after Bugsy, the run's just fucking over. Because, like, I mean, that'll mess up RNG Minute, which loses a little bit of time, but it'll make Elm call the 3rd time during Location Minute for Raikou, so I won't get Raikou correctly, and that'll just fuck up everything. Okay, what's after Elm? It's just straight down, talk... wants to lead. So the reason I'm talking to Cyndaquil, which I do 3 times at least, potentially a 4th, is it advances the RNG. And so it's to make it so that I get more favorable RNG patterns. The ones that are right at the start, so the 2 that I've done already, are mainly because you need to get Pokerus off the next trainer battle that I do. And so to advance the RNG enough to be able to get Pokerus off that fight means that you need pretty significant advancements, and it's faster to actually talk to Cyndaquil to do that than to just run through extra grass. Also because running through the extra grass will get you encounters most of the time. And also because you don't want to advance the step counter too much, otherwise you would have to move 128 tiles to be able to do location minute without the step counter activating during that. But it also gives more favorable patterns the way that I've mapped it out. Maintaining the RNG after Rival 2 is pretty difficult. But possible. What? Why did that happen? Okay, RNG has messed up, but I don't understand why. Okay, time to review. What did I do wrong? Alright, I'm just going to turn that down because it's quite annoying when it's that loud. Alright, so let's see. After tutorial... So what was I supposed to do? There's no load line there, is there? There is a load line there. Fuck, that might not have worked. Left. Down. Mid grass. That surely couldn't have been the problem. Out for 1, 2 off the wall. In for 4. I think I did the right thing. Was off at left. Huh, what did I do wrong there? 42. Yeah, not sure what I did wrong here. This is what a lot of the early attempts of Gen 4 always look like though. RNG goes wrong, I have no idea where it went wrong. And then troubleshooting why it went wrong. Okay, did it at the end. Okay, he moved down. There's only one alley there. She goes from right to left. Okay. Now let's have a look at my video. He goes down. Goes from right to left. But then I get an encounter, that's odd. Did I bonk? No? She moves after the second one. Everything looks fine, and then I just get an encounter. It's really weird. I'm just comparing it against my my video that has it done correctly. Yeah, it looks 100% correct, and then I just get an encounter. Really weird. Okay, let me just double check where the load lines are here. But I did kind of move a bit differently outside of the grass than I normally do. Let's see. God, all of my fucking save states are on Voltorb Flip. That's really annoying. Load state. What's something that'll be close? Do I have post-rival? Post-rival. Okay, and load lines. God, this may run so slow when I'm streaming. Okay, there's a load line there. That's definitely what caused it, 100%. Because I crossed that at 2 instead of at 1. So, my movie... God, that's really annoying, because I'm pretty sure I just would have accidentally done that during the run. When I was making the movie. Because it's not how I would prefer to move there. But I'm pretty certain I went up... Whoops. All before that load line. Yep. And then in my run just then, I went up only 3. Yep. Okay, so there's a load line between these tiles here. And so you have to cross here. And I crossed here. And then went up 1. Okay, that's pretty annoying though. I don't like that. That I have to go up there. I would rather go up here. But that's obviously after the load line. I mean, it's possible that may work as well, but I haven't tested it, so I can test that some later day. Alright, let's do some more runs. Troubleshooting complete. You do not need to keep RNG Manip past Rival 2 for Voltorb Flip, because Voltorb Flip uses secondary RNG rather than primary RNG. So the only thing you need to do to Manip Voltorb Flip is do the movement out between Union Cave to Azalea Town correctly, because that advances secondary RNG and nothing else does. Prior to the flips, that is. Well, I mean, in that run that I just did, I already talked to Cyndaquil twice. So you talk to Cyndaquil both times you enter Route 29. You also talk to Cyndaquil in Sprout Tower. So those are the 3 that are guaranteed in the run. And it's also possible that I talk to Quilava during Raikou Manip. The reason why it's a chance is because I actually have 2 different Raikus that I can both use for the run. The first one is better, and it's earlier, so I would rather get that one. But if the RNG has advanced too much to hit that one, there's a backup option that I can use, and I need to talk to Quilava for the backup option. Well, I need to do it quickly. A lot of fights of the run increase in difficulty with the new strats. I would say Whitney is the most, yeah, that increases. I mean, difficulty is a bit of a subjective word, because one of the fights that immediately springs to mind is Blue. But Blue actually is... It's kind of less difficult in that it's more brain dead, so I think that's 1 early again. In that what you do is more consistent, but you're much more likely to die to Blue. Because you just have to risk a damage range on the Marchamp, and if you miss, you die, and it's just, that's it. Jasmine is a lot worse. Surge is worse. The Jolteon... Basically every fight that you would have used Hidden Power on is so much worse with that Hidden Power. I wouldn't say the run is that much less likely to complete. Like, the only thing after Raikou that's worse, like, completion-wise, is Blue. Everything else is actually easier. In that, like, yeah, Jasmine is worse and Surge is worse and whatever, but you're never going to die there. You're just going to lose time. But because you have Thunderbolt instead of Thunder, you don't have to, like, worry about, you know, irregular misses or something. Red is faster. Not sure if I'd say easier or harder. It is... Yeah, I would say it's a little bit riskier. It's a bit better because you have Thunderbolt. The fight is quicker, and because it's quicker, he has less chance to crit you. But he does have a chance to kill you without critting, whereas in the old strat there wasn't any. Why am I checking my ID? That's the right one too. Well, whatever. No. Flash is for any percent, not for glitchless. Flash is only used if you RNG manipulate red. Yeah, I don't know what my overall aim actually is, because... because this route is obviously very new and very different, I don't really have a good summation of exactly what a really good time with this route would be. So for now, I just want to get the record back from Buster. And then after that, if I'm still not satisfied, I can change it. Yeah, it obviously saves time on set. It's interesting that you asked that question, though, because, like, no one ever asked that question, but it's actually... in a strat that I had for this route, I actually used to keep it on Switch. Because against Whitney, without Fire Blast, my old strat used to switch to Dratini and use Dratini to kill the Miltank. But that was off a different seed. On this seed, Quilava does a better job than Dratini, because... I deliberately picked the seed with 31 speed early Pokerus, so Quilava could outspeed Miltank. And you need 31 speed and Pokerus to outspeed Whitney's Miltank with Quilava. And if you do not outspeed Miltank, it would be better to use Dratini, unquestionably. Technically, it would still be faster to use Dratini in the best outcome, but the best outcome is just so unlikely. So unlikely. Dragon Rage does two-shot Miltank. The thing is that Miltank two-shots you as well. And obviously it's way faster, and it has Stomp, which flinches you. So the strat used to be manipulate the Dratini to have really low defense. So it uses Stomp, you get a Dragon Rage off, and then spam Super Potions until it uses Rollout, because your health is low enough, and then survive 2 rollouts and get the second Dragon Rage off. The problem is, if the Stomp flinches you, you're dead. Also, you can just be stuck there forever with it just spamming Stomp. Also, it can use Attract. It was just so risky. So I've decided to just use Quilava. Outspeeding, so I don't have to deal with flinches. Do still have to deal with Attract, which is annoying. But Dratini does still get use because it's really good for the double battle, the Clefable and Wigglytuff double battle. I probably should have checked where I passed the load line on this pass as well, because I was not paying attention to it. I'm just going to do it here. I hope that's correct. TY. Yeah, this is actually in the FAQ as well. It would be way better to have a female Cyndaquil. Like, way better. But there isn't one. There is not a female Cyndaquil that has 31 speed OV and Pokerus. It just does not exist. I think the Dratini that I get on this seed, if I do manipulate it, is actually female. If I recall correctly. But it doesn't fulfill the requirements for the old Dratini strat, because it has good defense. There wasn't a bad defense Dratini with good speed that was female. That also didn't exist, so... Down is good. Okay, so that works. So I know I can do that one early. I don't want to do like... Voltorb Flip is manipulated, yeah. It's very likely that I'll end up improving the Voltorb Flip manipulation later, but for now, it's really good. For what I could do manually, I think it's very good. But it sounds like we may be able to manipulate something better if MK can figure out what causes the level jumps. Literally only Attract. Oh, well, actually, also, the Clefairy and the Clefables have Cute Charm as well, and you do hit them with Flame Wheel. So if you were a female, you could escape the chance of getting affected by that too. I guess technically that's also Attraction, but it's not Attract, it's not the move. I'm really happy with the movement that I've routed out as well. It's pretty fast, and it's also pretty simple. There isn't too much that's really complicated. Probably the movement to Pokerus is the worst, but even though it is easy, it'll still take me just a little bit to get really comfortable and just be able to hit it the majority of the time. Actually, I didn't practice location manip at all, and that's actually... The Raikou manip might be the hardest part as well. It's more just because there's two different Raikus, so you have to learn two different movement patterns. My Christmas was good, I guess. I played video games just like any other day. Nah, I don't really celebrate Christmas. I don't really celebrate any holiday, to be honest, so... the Raikus have garbage hidden powers. I think it's like the first one has flying... Flying? Or bug? Bug 41, and the second one has Dragon 38. It's not a concern. Because obviously you don't get hidden power, but they're both just complete shit. It was the first one that was flying. That ended up being unhittable. Because it was too early. No. The new route for this game was inspired by... I decided I should come back to this game. And then... I had lots of ideas. I mean, like, when Buster beat my time, I was like, yeah, I'll probably go back to the game at some point, but I was really hesitant because I was like, there's really no new strats, and I can't really think of any new strats for this game at all. And then as soon as I, you know, several months later decided, alright, I'll just go back to the game, maybe I can find, you know, some little improvements here or there. As soon as I actually started playing, the floodgates just fucking opened. And I just had 100 million ideas. I mean, it's very unlikely that I'll be able to get the record D1. Yeah, not too many of the old boys are still around, are they? I mean, it makes sense that not too many people would be, you know, speedrunning for 15 years or whatever. Ugh. Honestly, I have not been watching most of the cricket, which is that is a huge statement in itself of how shit it is. Ugh. No, alright, I want to be positive this stream. This route's really cool. Let's be happy. Ah, that's dead. That was just... I know what that was. That was just a movement error. Let's not talk about the fucking cricket, because the cricket is shit. Absolute garbage. Okay. Yeah, saying the before a sport isn't that weird. No, I would say if everything. The cricket, the footy, the soccer, the hockey. Like, yeah, you can just say cricket, footy, hockey as well, but putting the before it isn't that odd. Like, it's not distinctly one or the other. It's interchangeable, really. Yay. Yes, it would have identical RNG on Heart Gold. Yeah, I haven't done glitchless for 3 years. I have done Heart Gold, Soul Silver more recently, but just any percent. But yeah, don't have your expectations too high for this stream. Like I said, it'll take me a while to get the movement down. There'll be a lot of runs just going to movement errors, like that last one. Or not making a movement error, but not knowing that what I just did was a movement error. Like the first run. Nah, the manip stops any shinies from showing up. Like, you could also manip shinies, like, really easily. But, obviously, you don't want to do that. Sonic runs aren't? I completely disagree with that. The comfiest speed game that I've ever run is Sonic 2 for the Master System. That game is fucking ultimate comfy. God damn it, dude. I'm so bad at estimates. I hate when people ask me about estimates. I'm so bad. I'm a huge fan of this new culture of watching games more than you play them, because I make my money off people watching me play games, so I think it's the best. Everyone should do it. No one should play games except me. Shit! That's dead. This will get fucked. Yep. Okay. No, I do not watch streams, man. I do not watch streams. Yeah, sorry if the stream goes white. It's just the capture card not sending the signal properly. As long as you guys tell me, I can fix it pretty quickly, because all I literally have to do is unplug it and plug it back in, and it always fixes itself. Well, pretty much always. But I can't tell when it happens, because I don't have the feed up on my screen. Because I have all my notes on my screen, and the chat, and that takes up... Oh shit, I did not change the options. Are you suggesting that 60 seconds is a small amount of time? Ah, fuck. Alright, I'm gonna change to one of my other chords and see if that does it better. If this one's already fallen out 4 times, that's probably not a good sign. I mean, I'll still play Pokemon games casually, I just don't do it very much, more because I don't have a lot of time. But also because if I want to play a Pokemon game, a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I want to be speedrunning. I actually have played a little bit of Smash Ultimate, yeah. I haven't played that much, though. I've literally only done, like, the World of Light stuff, which I still have not finished. Well, I finished the main stuff, but I haven't done every single one of the fights or whatever. And, like, yeah, it's enjoyable. It is a good casual game for me. I'm not serious about Smash like a lot of people are. Yes, I've played Mania. I mean, been playing as, you know, a lot of characters. When I just want to do, because I've done the main thing, I'm just doing a lot of those spirit battles or whatever. And so blasting through those, I use Lucas primarily, because Lucas can kill like everyone in 2 hits. So I'm just like, well, that's fast. No, I wouldn't say I have a main at the moment. Haven't played it enough for that at all. Okay. That's well. The inspiration was my brain. Ideally, Manip is kept up until picking up Dratini, and then realigned at getting Raikou. So it's a goldenrod. It only needs to be kept up until Union Cave there. Or up until after Union Cave, I should say. Nah, it's great that Gen 4 for Pokemon is both... It's the most interesting for, like, RNG manip and shit like that. I mean, these two are obviously coinciding a little bit, but Gen 4 is also just the most fucking creative, speedrunning-wise. Like, Diamond and Pearl, you teach Thief to a bee barrel that you catch to steal a lucky egg off a wild Chansey. Yeah, spending 3 minutes in this game fucking playing Voltorb Flip and talking to the Cyndaquil that's fucking running behind you. I still don't think I will ever get over catching 2 Tentacruels in Platinum, though. Like, that's fucking wild that that ends up being faster. Absolutely wild. Yeah. I just got the idea recently. Not out of nowhere, more just I came back to the game and then I had all of the ideas. Thanks to this. There we go. Okay. So this part here, I would say, is the hardest movement. Nice. Thanks, Astros. What? That is wrong. Why is that wrong? Okay, well, all I can do is just hope that the RNG just magically aligned. But those NPCs were 100% in the wrong spot. So this run is 99.9% dead. I don't understand how that could have been wrong there. I'm positive I did the movement correctly. But we won't find out until the top floor if the RNG is correct or not. When I talk to Cyndaquil. See, the thing is, I actually could realign the RNG on the fly if I knew what it had gone to. But I don't. I have no idea. It'd be pretty impressive if I had muscle memory for a strat that I had never done before. Yeah, it didn't work. Went way too high, apparently. If I'm getting an encounter here, it advanced by like 10 extra. Alright, so time for some troubleshooting. Let's try and figure out why that went wrong. I wasn't recording! Awesome. I guess I can just look at the Twitch VOD, but that'll be a lot more awkward. Let me just look at the video first. Okay. I want to make sure that the NPC was wrong first. Because if it was just right and then I just did the wrong thing, that will be very annoying. But I'm sure the NPC is supposed to be on 3. And it was on 2. Pretty fucking certain. Yeah. That is definitely not where the NPC was, or facing. So it was wrong going into Violet. How was it wrong going into Violet? Oh no! Oh no, don't tell me that matters. Surely it can't. Surely it can't. You're already above the load line there, even if there was one to the left. It wouldn't make a difference, because there would be no NPCs. Okay, that can't be it. Surely. Actually, what I should do, I should check if I have Pokerus. Okay, I have Pokerus, so it was definitely right at Mikey. God, the fact that I got through all that grass, though, does indicate it probably is that fucking one tile. But that would make no sense. Okay, that's exactly how I did it in my run. Yeah, that's alright. That's too big a jump. Two, one. Alright. I need to check the VOD. Okay, good. You can still watch VODs while you're streaming nowadays. I'm pretty certain. Alright, let's see. Videos all. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, apologies. I know this isn't really interesting viewing because, like, literally all you can see is just this screen where nothing's happening, but this is just one of the things you have to do, especially at the start of running a game like this. There's a lot of troubleshooting. Okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah, not good enough. So let's see. The first NPC I want to look at is the one after the mom call. Alright, here we go, perfect. So he should be one to the right and then move left. That was correct. And I went down on two. He moved right and then he looked down. Whoa, that NPC went down. I don't think he did that in my run. He looked down, right. Down, right, down. Are you kidding me? Is Violet actually loaded? Fuck off. I think Violet's loaded. That is absolute bullshit if that's true. It's 100% that tile there. For fuck's sake. Alright, where's the load line? It's the only thing it can be, because it's completely correct until then. Oh, that's bullshit. That is absolute fucking bullshit. Load state from... I don't know this one. I think I have a Violet Gate save state. Violet Gate, thank you. Go. Load lines. God, I really should have paid more fucking attention when I was making this movement. There's just so much, like, both of these are just me crossing load lines at really fucking dumb points. Yep, there's a fucking load line right here and Violet is loaded. God fucking damn it. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Okay, so there is a load line. Where is it? What utter bullshit. here, in between these two. Obviously, I'm not over here, but in the grass. It's just fucking bullshit. So what you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to cross this one, and then just go left, and then take all of the grass, and then come out. So obviously, you would just go left, and then go up, and then go out. Easy, easy, right? But my dumb ass, when I was fucking making the video, instead did this. I went up for one tile. Not thinking that that would fucking give me a different pattern if I just held left. Which it does, apparently. Which is bullshit. Because there's nothing to the left over here. It shouldn't be loading anything. But look over here. Violet City is actually loading when I cross that load line. Even though it has to reload after I go through this bullshit. And so that's loaded one of the NPCs and they've advanced the RNG in a different way. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Fucking bullshit. Yeah. After this stream, I'm going to look at both of those instances that have fucked up this run. That one and the other one to see if I can just easily move across the load line and get the same RNG. Because both of the ways that I've done it in the fucking... in the movie is dumb. Just dumb. It just makes it harder for no reason. So it would be great if there was just an easier pattern. Because one of my... oh, what? I did not turn off the game. One of my qualifications when I make the movie is to make the movement as easy as possible. As long as it does not waste any time. Yes, I am recording now. Oh, I didn't change the chord though. I wanted to do that because this one's being a bit finicky. Actually, Milchek, you'll find that anything that disadvantages me as a human is garbage. And that's the objective truth. No, all characters are exactly the same speed. They all take 1 frame to load. Oh, no, that's incorrect. Okay, change the chord. I think I have this one, which... I can't remember if it's more stable. It's shorter, which is why I didn't use it at first. I think it might be more stable. Are we in? We're in. Okay. Oops. Yes, I only eat one meal a day. Too expensive to eat more. I am not. We broke up like over a year ago. Have less cigarettes, dickhead. Yay. I've been pretty good at hitting the seed today, at least. Been hitting it like 50-50. I mean, smoking is extremely unattractive, but there are more unattractive things than a girl who smokes. I mean, a guy who smokes straight away comes to bat. A snail, pretty unattractive. Mold, pretty unattractive, I would say. Yeah, definitely a no-go, I would say. Bonking into a wall would make a difference if it was in an area where there was RNG advancing. But if it was in an area where RNG is not advancing, then it would not. Look, honestly, I've got nothing wrong with people smoking cigarettes as long as they realize that they are the most disgusting human and to never be in my entire existence. And that includes, you know, just never be in my eye shot, my ear shot, just never exist. And I don't have a problem. Fuck. That may have fucked it up. I mean, if my whole family smoked, I would not talk to my whole family. To be fair, I pretty much don't talk to my whole family anyway. The only person that I really like ever talk to from my family is my dad, who does not smoke. So there you go. No, I mean, I don't like it because it's disgusting. Like, I mean, if I'm on the street and I pass someone who is smoking a cigarette, I quite literally cannot breathe. It is disgusting. And I really don't think I should have to put up with not being able to breathe because some person wants to inject shit into their fucking body, or inhale shit into their body. That ain't doing them any good. Like, nope. Yeah, inject was not the right word. Ooh, nice, got the crit back. I was gonna have to heal as well, so that saved me 2 turns. Walking versus running does change it, yeah. Because walking, well, I mean, walking takes more time than running. So if you're in an area where RNG is advancing, spending more time gives it more time to advance, obviously. But also, like, there are some encounters in the grass that don't trigger if you're walking, but do if you're running. Yeah, imagine not liking things that you don't like. Fuck. Ugh. What a sad existence, right? No, I'm good for now. Okay. Uh, I'm gonna be 100% totally honest. And I'll actually give you a story after this that'll make me seem even less fucking whatever. I have no idea what the fuck that is. I don't even know how to pronounce it. What the fuck is Jewel? I have no idea what that is. No fucking clue. Is this some hip new millennial smoking? No, okay, it's just vaping. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that, so I can't really say that I have a huge opinion. But I mean, I said this before, but... You know, for someone like me, like, I don't... I have never and will never do any drugs, because, I mean, it's all about... You know, altering your system, and I'm already perfect, so... I can't really comment on, you know, from the personal side of, you know, wanting to change yourself. I don't know what that existence is like, so... Well, I should say artificially. Oh, nice. Okay, to be fair, I have had one sip of coffee ever in my life when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I hated it. Never had it again. That was a result of bad parenting than personal choices, though. It was forced on me. No, don't have either of those. Okay, so that should work at this time, I think. I have gotten sick a lot of time, but I do not take medicine. If I get a headache, I just go to sleep. Yes, that is correct. Alright, here we go. I mean, I don't know, like, I would take medicine if I got really sick, because it would make me better. But I've never really been sick enough that I need to. Like, I used to as a kid, because obviously, you know, when you would get sick as a kid, I didn't really have a choice. You know, my parents would be like, take this, and then I would. But yeah, I don't take meds unless I'm, like, seriously fucked, which I don't think I ever have been, so... No. See, getting sick is part of being perfect, because getting sick, what it does is it slows the body down, so it gives, you know, equilibrium to your life, because it's about, you know, just taking a bit of stock, taking a bit of perspective, slowing down a little bit in your life, and, you know, just really appreciating what it's like when you're running at full blast, and... just having a bit of time to yourself. There's nothing about medication that I don't like. There's seriously nothing about it that I don't like. It's just... you know, if I can get over an illness by myself, then I would rather do that. But like I said, it's like, I've never been seriously sick. So, you know, a lot of the time that I, you know, or someone else in my position might take meds is, you know, when I have a headache or whatever. And a lot of the meds around that are more about preventing the pain than actually getting rid of the thing that's causing it, so... if the pain's just there, then that's fine. No, I don't think I've ever had a... like a real toothache. Steadily keeping up. Perfect. I mean, I've broken my teeth before. When I was like 10 years old, but I don't think I've ever had like an ache. Okay, this one is turn frame, but Lee is no turn frame. I tripped over and fell face first on the ground. I've told this story before, but it was... I'd returned to school with new glasses. And my mother told me that my glasses were really expensive, so I can't break my glasses, no matter what I do. And so then, at school, I trip over, going to land on my glasses, but I can't break my glasses, so I protect those, move my mouth forward, break my teeth instead, which were, of course, more expensive. Oh, Cyndaquil. God, I was at literally 1 health. Would have been perfect for Death Warp strats, which are almost worth it. If you could consistently be at 1 health, I would actually route out Death Warp instead. Though I guess we've figured the Elm Call, so it really wouldn't be that useful. Up on 2. Okay, so this is the streak of the run where Ember PP is extremely tight. And the very first fight of it is Faulkner. And Faulkner is an absolute bitch to your Ember PP. He is an cunt of the highest degree. Tackle, 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 tackle. Bad, bad, bad. Bad, bad, bad. So not only have I got to deal with Roost, but I'm also at -1. This is horrible. Awesome. Nice one! Yeah! It's good to be back. It's good to be back. The run's not completable, because that would mess up RNG minute. Well, I mean, I can't exactly complete a failed run, so I don't really have any other choice but to restart. Man, I'm being really good at hitting the seed. I mean, saving would be pointless because if I had to reload the save, then RNG would be different, so... And yeah, saving also takes like 18 seconds in Gen 4, so... Thanks, JP. You know you still have the ability to go to sleep. I'm probably not going to do runs for too much longer, though. Because I like to start in the morning, but I couldn't do that today because I wasn't quite ready. So I started a bit later, so... I don't like doing runs that late. If I can help it. Plus, I mean, there's already a few things that I do want to touch up in the movement, if I can. But I mean, now that I've started doing runs, I can pretty much just do runs every day, which is good. Hi, hi. TY, TY. Pokemon has a pretty good history of doing that, introducing cool things and then just getting rid of them. Ugh. Okay, good. Mm-mm. Oh yeah, brute forcing finding the seed would just be impossible. It would take way too long. So there are tools to help with that, but I do have to brute force the manip for, like, encounters. Like, routing out the actual path to not get encounters and shit, and getting the results that I want, that is done with brute force. Just a lot of trial and error, creative thinking, knowing how things actually work. Being a genius. Every little bit helps. To learn that, do you mean to route out the path, or do you mean to learn all the things that matter? Because I'm actually still learning things. In that regard, to be completely honest. Fuck. Walked one tile too early. Like, I'll give you an example of something that I learnt. Well, I kind of knew about this existing, but I didn't know about the crossover. But it's pretty specific. So, when I am coming back to New Barktown... Oops. After the first rival fight, right? When I'm walking through the grass there, if you pay close attention to the movement that I do there, you'll notice that I walk up into, like, right at the corner of the grass. So you could enter the exact same amount of tiles and walk right at the end instead of walking up. But if you walked right, RNG Manip would not work. The reason RNG Manip would not work is because in Heart Gold Soul Silver exclusively, there is a specific check for how many times you've moved in the opposite direction to when you last moved inside a tile that could generate an encounter. So the reason that exists is it's basically a quality of life feature, because if you're hunting for wild encounters, you would be, like, moving backwards and forwards. You would be moving up, down, or left, right, left, right, left, right. Not many people move in circles looking for wild encounters. But if you're going through the route, you don't do that. So it's basically to make it so if you're looking for encounters, you get more, but if you're not, you get less. But this actually carries over from the last instance of you being in an area with encounters to the next one. So if I exit that tile facing right, when I come back to Route 29 and do the catching tutorial, my first step is left. So that would increase the opposite direction counter. And then it would get increased again, and then RNG would move at a faster rate, and it would mess up the manip. How good am I at hitting the seed today? Holy shit. I don't think I've ever been this good. Yeah, I've thought, I've given so much thought to like making a video about like RNG manipulation in Gen 4 speedrunning because there's so much interesting shit across all three of the games. And like giving like a history of how it's advanced over the years would be so good. Like the video would honestly be amazing, but I'm way too lazy. Way too lazy. There's no way I could do that. Yes. I mean, it would make me money because I get money off YouTube anyway. It's not about that, it's just about actually doing it anyway. There's a lot of things that I could do that would get me money, but I only do the things that, you know, I actually want to do. It's required to keep RNG Manip up until the exit of Union Cave, which is like, what, 30 minutes into the run? Ideally, I keep it all the way to picking up Dratini before Whitney, which is like 50 minutes in. It's hard for there to be a good resource for how Voltorb Flip works, given even we don't currently understand all of the things that make Voltorb Flip work the way it does. MK, like, just today figured out most everything, but we still do not understand how advancing to level 8 works in Voltorb Flip. No idea. If anyone here knows, that would be fantastic. I am almost certain that none of you do, though. Because it's not something incredibly basic. Like, I have a consistent pattern that advances to level 8 every single time after level 6. But we don't understand why. If we could, there's a pretty high chance that you could advance to level 8 after level 5, which would be better, and potentially save an entire board. But because we don't understand why, we can't figure out a pattern to make that happen. I named my Cyndaquil Comma? What am I doing? Oh. Nice. Missing and critting is better than hitting twice, so... I mean, the discussion is just in the Pokemon Speedruns Discord, in the Heart Gold Soul Silver Glitchless channel. That's just it at the moment. I mean, I can tell you, like, I can just do the pattern that shows level 6 to 8 straight away. As long as I get a run there. But, like, so I'll explain what I mean. So, in Voltorb Flip, so Voltorb Flip is controlled by the secondary RNG. So it's not the primary RNG, which controls, like, everything else in the game. It's the secondary RNG, which controls Voltorb Flip and... nothing else in this game, actually, maybe? But anyway, so the secondary RNG is advanced when there is... I don't know how to explain this, so I'll just say the actual thing. When there's, like, rain or snow on the screen, that advances the secondary RNG. So that means, because there is rain between Union Cave and getting to Azalea, as long as you do that movement correctly, when you get to Voltorb Flip, the secondary RNG will be at the same point. So you'll get the same starting board. But that doesn't mean that all of the boards will be the same, because secondary RNG advances during Voltorb Flip as well. So it advances every time you flip over, and I discovered this, I think it was today, maybe yesterday as well. It advances every time you flip over a card, so long as the card is not on a row or column that has no bombs. So if you flip over on, you know, a row that has 7 coins, no bombs, or 5 coins, no bombs, whatever, won't advance it. But even... oh, fuck. Dead run. Even if you flip over on... if you flip over a 1, not a 2 or a 3, it will advance it by 1. So you can manipulate future boards by flipping over 1s instead of just the 2s and the 3s to... yeah, get different boards by advancing the secondary RNG by 1 in that manner. And so I do this in my run. But what's... well, in the current manip anyway, I do this. What's odd, though, is that... so I do this on 3 different boards. Why did I not press A? So on the... is it the second? I think it's 3, 4, 5, isn't it? Is it 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, 5? But so on 3 consecutive boards, I flip over different ones to manipulate the future boards to be really good. But on the very last one, I only need to flip over 2 ones to get the next board that I want. but I flip over a third one. That does not advance the secondary RNG, but it makes it so when I get and clear level 6, I advance to level 8. But if I don't flip over that card, after level 6, I will only advance to level 7. And currently we have no idea why that's the case. Because it doesn't impact the secondary RNG. Which means... And it obviously doesn't impact the primary RNG either. Which means that your advancement to level 8 is determined from something completely different. And we have no fucking idea what it is. Absolutely none. So, I mean, MK was saying today that he's figured out what causes, like he can, based on what he's saying, I guess, predict exactly what the board will look like based on what the RNG was. Like, he's figured out exactly how it displays the boards and, like, how it generates the patterns and where the bombs are and shit. But still have no idea what causes the advancement to level 8. Oh, that's wrong. So that's one early, is it? Okay. So I did the best that I could to try and troubleshoot it. Just by doing a basic RAM search and seeing what was different. But there was actually way more that was different than I expected, so... It's, outside of my field of expertise, because it's not something that I can just basic troubleshoot as well. There doesn't seem to be any discernible pattern to it, or... just, like, basic logic. Like, basic logic would be something like, if you flip over 8 cards... or like X amount of cards, then it works. It's not something like that. It's hard to explain this really well without a visual representation of it there. So if I actually get to Voltorb Flip and you can see it, yay. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to do runs for today. I might actually make this my last run. Just come back a bit earlier tomorrow. Touch up those things in the movement that I wanted to get done, and yeah, maybe solve Voltorb Flip. Because if we could solve it and do it in 9 boards instead of 10, it would save like 17 seconds, which is a really significant amount. Did I name it Comma again? Fuck. I'm just putting in whatever character is there. I'm not really thinking about it. Because comma's really close to the OK button. What's up, Dig Strats? I'm going good. But yeah, now that I've started doing runs, like I said, I'll pretty much just be doing runs every day, which is really good. Get back into it. Until I get a good time, of course, that is. Because, like, I'm conflicted, because I'm like, oh, I'd love to keep doing runs or whatever, but I also don't really want to keep doing runs, because, you know, it's getting a bit late. It's pretty warm, so I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. I would love to, you know, touch up the movement stuff, etc. But, you know, I've just got to remind myself, you know, even if I stop doing runs today, there's fucking tomorrow, and the day after, and whatever. But it's hard to remember that when I haven't streamed for, like, I think it's been like 3 weeks or something. So I've just been routing this shit. I mean, I've been doing a bunch of IRL shit as well. Which is rare for me, obviously. Pursuits outside of speedrunning. I mean, the thing about this run is like, pretty much all of the runs are going to die within the first hour. Like, all of them. Because if I get past the first hour, that means that I catch Raikou. And once I catch Raikou, it's like, that run is almost certainly getting completed. The only way it could not get completed... Actually, I mean, at this stage, I would 100% complete it. The only way it wouldn't get completed is if it had 0 chance of PBing. Because, like, the only place you're dying with Raikou is blue, or red. Which is obviously right at the fucking end, so... The red fight is different, actually. You do the pokes in a different order. A lot less setup because you have Thunderbolt, so it's a lot faster. Which makes it less risky in that he gets less turns to crit you, but it is more risky because... I don't set up an X Special Defend anymore. And, you know, look for a specific Raikou that could handle that. You can die to Focus Blast from Blastoise, plus Sludge Bomb from Venusaur. The range is on Raikou 1, 8 in 256, and on Raikou 2, 5 in 256 for that to kill you. But if you listen closely to the words that I just said, it's actually more likely than that it would kill you. Because the second move is Sludge Bomb. So because it's a very low chance for that to kill you, that means you're very likely on, like, you know, 10 health or something really low. So if Focus Blast hits, and you get poisoned by Sludge Bomb, instantly dead. Yeah, there's obviously special defense drop from Focus Blast, but if that happens, you actually very likely wouldn't die, because Sludge Bomb would just instantly kill you, so you wouldn't risk it. You would just spam healing until Focus Blast missed. It would be your only way to win. And once it missed, then Sludge Bomb's not going to kill you. So while that would waste a lot of time, it's not really a death risk. Well, 20% in that position, because it's also possible that Blastoise doesn't even get a chance to use Focus Blast, because if you're on really low health, you actually heal on the Lapras, because Lapras uses Brine if you're really low, instead of Blizzard, and Brine plus Sludge Bomb can't kill. No, it's not worth it to Manip in Glitchless. It was like almost dead on even whether it was worth it to Manip or not with the old strats, but with these strats, because the red fight is faster, because you get Thunderbolt, it's not worth it to Manip. 100% slower. Obviously more consistent, because you wouldn't die, but slower, so not worth it. But it'll always be worth it to Manip in 90%. I have no idea what I'm gonna fucking do after this game. Focus on one game at a time. Surge, you use an X special and kill everything with Thunderbolt. Jasmine, you use rare candies earlier, so that you're above level 45, and then just spam Shadow Ball. Steelix is awful, still. You have to use the candies to kill the Magnemites. Because if you did not one-hit the Magnemites, they are just the worst thing ever. But the Steelix is at such an awful health. Such an awful health. She almost always ends up healing the Steelix, and then you have to just hit it more. It sucks. But there's nothing you can do about it. Blue, you do a completely different... Brock isn't really a concern, you just use Shadow Ball. The only things that can live are Omastar and Kabutops, and they mostly die to Shadow Ball. But Blue, you do a completely different strat, where you keep Specs on, kill Rhydon with an X special Shadow Ball, switch out on Marchamp and let something die, then switch back and kill everything else with Thunderbolt. Which is the aforementioned risk that I said before. Because if you... Marchamp is a range with Thunderbolt, and if it doesn't die, it just kills you, and then you're dead. And that's just it. Maybe? The Magnemites are bad not just because of Thunderwave. Thunderwave is a primary reason, yeah. Like, if you say you wanted to set up on Jasmine, use an X special. Magnemite uses Thunderwave. What do you do now? Do you heal the paralysis? That's the logical course of action, so you use a full heal. Magnemite uses Supersonic. It confuses you. Now what do you do? Well, I can't full heal, because it's just going to use Thunderwave again. So, I try and get through the confusion. I hit myself in confusion. It uses Thunderwave. Awful. Alright, so instead of doing that, I'll use a full heal after it hits me with Supersonic, right? Fucking fucking walked one tile too early again. Yeah, Supersonic missed. So now you're just sitting there waiting to get hit by Supersonic. That's just the worst. I was messing that tile up so much in practice as well. I was doing the same thing as well, just walking one tile too early. Maybe I should have another look at that. Alright, let's do one more run. I said I might make that my last, but I'll do one more. That way everyone can mentally prepare, more myself. Totodile is crapola for killing Bugsy and Rival 2 especially. So what's that? That's one light. Okay. DY. I mean, Totodile is competitive with Cyndaquil in this game. It's pretty close. It's just... Totodile just dies so much to Bugsy and Rival 2 if you're trying to go fast. Just so much. I mean, Totodile's big advantage used to be over Cyndaquil, like in the comparison in this game, used to be Totodile doesn't have to catch Sentret, and... What was the other thing? Oh, and you could, like, skip the center at Azalea and shit because PP isn't a concern, etc., etc. And it's like, well, this route does all of that anyway, so it kind of loses all of its advantage. Alright, there we go. Last run of the day. I mean, even though I haven't gotten any runs, you know, deep today, that's what I expected to happen, but it does feel good to be back to streaming. And playing this game gives me a lot of joy. No, dude. No, you can't say fucking 40 minutes. Also, how fucking weird is it that in this game, in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, so obviously the two categories, any percent and then this one, glitchless. In any percent, you don't get fly, but Abra is not worth it for teleport. In glitchless, obviously you get fly, but Abra with teleport is worth it. So backwards. I'm really happy with my old man RNG setup though. I haven't missed it once today, and I haven't really been paying that much attention to my mashing, and I have a backup for if I miss it by, you know, just a little bit, which I haven't even had to use. So I should never be missing this in a run. Really nice window. Man, I really do have, like, so many fucking years of speedrunning left in me, though. Like, even if nothing new from this point onwards came up, I would still have so many years of things that I want to do. It's fucking great, just being able to look ahead and see so much good shit. Just so many games that I want to run and go back to. Haha, Let's Go is not one of them, no. I said it might be my last run. This run is my last run, Nova. I mean, I wouldn't run the game seriously anyway. Even if the game was amazing, all I would have ever done with it is done runs on like day 1 and day 2, and then just never again. So. It's just not really fun to replay, so I'm not really interested. They're just better games. So today as well, my Wario Land 3 glitchless time got beaten today. Immediately I was just like, fuck. I have to go back to that, because that was a really fun project. Well, that's a great way for the last run of the day to end. Ten out of 10. I have played both of the Pokemon trading card games. How much would that experience matter? Just thinking about it. I wonder if you can actually continue. Well, I mean, the RNG is wrong, because I took too long on that text anyway. I'm just thinking about it, because you would get healed, right? Yeah. Where would that experience really matter? Because I think it would still evolve to Quilava after the Rattatas, because I don't take the experience anymore. You would only be 12 for Pidgeotto, which would be awful. You would still get 19 for Croc. You would still have 22 for the other Croc. You might only be 16 at Scyther, which would be shit. Actually, no, you'd still be 17. Maybe I could have still continued. It would have been a little bit of time lost, but not that much. Because I wouldn't have Ember for the level 6 Bellsprout, but I would get it after that. Something to think about the next time that happens. Anyway, like I said, I'm done for today. I will be back with more runs tomorrow. This is obviously my main project for a while, so settle in and enjoy it. Thanks for watching today, guys. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Peace. Have a good day.